This is why sex directly ties into the success of your brand strategy. I know it seems kind of random. If you're spiritual, it might not, but it really does impact the success, the creativity, and the expression of your brand. Your pleasure and your intimacy is always directly linked to the expression and the integrity of your creativity. Sexual energy is the life force energy. Sexual energy is the creative energy. If you are the one who is spearheading the creative direction of your company, or if you have a major impact and say on how that goes, your relationship to your sexuality and your expression of your sexuality is a great impact to how profound and how creative you can be when it comes to your brand. The sexual habits that you have also contribute to how you show up for your brand. And this ultimately all affects alignment. I first want to dissect the habits. You could be celibate, or you could be abstaining until marriage. You could be somebody who regularly self-pleasures, or you can be somebody who completely ignores their sexual urges out of respect for their religious commitments. Whatever it is, it's important to understand what relationship that you have with the habits of your sexuality. And here's why. The habits that you have with your sexuality or your sexual urges is very similar to the relationship that you have with your ability to create. If you're somebody who does not have any relationship with your sexuality and everything is suppressed on the inside, you don't pay attention to it, you ignore it, you have a lot of shame attached to it, or you're just somebody who has gone through some things that keeps them fearful of their sexual energy. More often than not, that is going to be replicated in how you show up in your creativity for your brand. You may not even have the creativity that's necessary and required to build the brand that you have a vision of. That whole part could be blocked. If you're somebody who is hypersexual and is very disconnected from their body and doesn't really have a relationship with it, but indulges in sex out of habit, that could indicate on the opposite spectrum another way of blockages to your creativity, and that can hinder the expression of the vision that God has given you. So when it comes to your habits, the goal really is wholeness. Navigating your shame and understanding that there could be shame or fear, how your self-perception and how life influenced your habits sexually. Understanding those things are so important because those are the first clues to understanding the expression, your natural expression of your brand. So when it comes to wholeness, the goal really is to see yourself and to be happy. It's to see yourself and feel clear. Whether you're somebody who's abstaining until marriage or you have no reservations about your sexuality at all, it just has to be congruent with you, your belief systems, and who you are. Another thing, when it comes to intimacy with others, how you engage in it is also a great indicator of how you can express the creativity of your vision. If you're somebody who likes to do one and done, super fast, not a lot of intimate emotional time, not a lot of intimate and like deep emotional connection through your sexual experiences, that can also play out in how much energy you have to actually get your projects done and how well you can get them done. If you're somebody who is very slow and intentional with your sexual experiences, that can also give a lot of access to your creativity in ways because you've cultivated a relationship with that creative energy that is intentional and aligned with you. Sometimes the blockages that you've been feeling really come from a lack of alignment within your sexual energy. And it's very important to diagnose that to see if that's true, because if you are receiving something and receiving something from God, these visions and ideas, these strategies to navigate your company and its development and its progression, and you are birthing something through you, before you can even be pregnant with an idea or with a strategy, with anything, you first have to cultivate that creative energy. And if your relationship to your creative energy is misaligned or it is fueled by shame, it is going to be very difficult to birth what God has put within you. For my people who are watching and you're abstaining or you're celibate, I want you to understand that you don't have to go against your morals, your boundaries, or your belief systems to practice a healthy cultivation of that sexual creative energy. The main focus for you that I will give you is to focus on your wholeness, focus on reducing that shame tied to it, and focus on accepting that these feelings are natural And if it's within your belief systems to self-pleasure, of course, I would recommend that. And be very gentle and kind to yourself and very slow and intentional through that process. And if that is not within your belief systems, then I will definitely look into finding a hobby that can be a creative outlet for you. I don't like to promote the notion that your business is your primary creative outlet. As a founder, creative director, or whatever seat you hold in your company, creativity is always necessary, especially if you're a product-based founder. Creativity is paramount, and that's the name of the game. You have to be creative, and when it comes to these fields. However, I am not a proponent in suggesting that your business should be your main outlet of creative energy. It's important to cultivate other avenues through which you can express and birth what God has given you. A lot of times we get so tunnel vision on the vision that we were given that we forget that there is more to us than servitude towards God or our servitude towards our business. I love to talk about lateral thinking for that reason. Lateral thinking is thinking in things next to the other thing. I know that's not the best way to put it, but think of if you learning math can help you become a better musician. Learning how to cook can help you to be a better formulator. Learning the discipline through marathon training can help you have the discipline to get through graduate school. Specific skills that you learn through different things that you pick up that are applicable across several other things. And so when it comes to you being proficient at leading your business, there are other skills and traits that need to be sharpened within you, and that is often found by cultivating a creative outlet that is outside of your company. The main proponent of advice that I want to give you and leave you with is don't suppress yourself. Don't suppress what you feel either. I always tell people, you are not your emotions, you are not your feelings. If you are feeling something and you're experiencing something, definitely take the time to trace it back to where that's coming from. It is always going to connect to a need, a desire, or a belief system that you might hold internally. And once you discover those things, your navigating your sexual energy and experience and urges will make a lot more sense. And it is necessary to understand that part of yourself, because that is how you are going to birth the fullness of this vision that God has given you and realign this company to mirror the vision that He has originally given you. What I just explained in this video are things that I talk about with my clients. I'm a brand strategist, but I also coach my clients to complete internal alignment so that they can better lead their company to full actualization. If you are a spiritual founder of a product-based company and you are looking to actualize the fullness of your brand's potential and vision and realign that vision to mirror what God has given you from the beginning, I may be the brand strategist for you. I have an inquiry form down below, and I would love for you to fill it out to see how we will be best aligned to work together. If you do not know who I am Naomi Olatayo, your spiritual doula, brand world architect, and brand strategist, and I work with founders like you to realign their companies to mirror their original and divine inspired vision. If you liked this video, you will love this video right here, and I will see you in the next one.